Dear friends, today I am sharing a story from a husband's perspective, in which his wife cheated on him after 10 years of relationship and deeply regrets her actions. I really need some thoughts about my current situation. Maybe I just need to read what I think all by myself and see if it's one of those situations where I normally think the guy is stupid and should leave. My wife and I have been together for 10 years, married since 2. For both of us it was our first relationship. We have a son who is turning 3 in June. Half a year ago my wife told me that she was not happy with us and not really sure why. We talked a lot about it and in the end she blamed herself for it. We were young when we came together and by now we've reached everything in life we've hoped for. We have a house with pool and garden, a loving family and a wonderful son. We make more than $300K annually, no worries in our life. But she was unsure if everything is over in her life and what she might have missed. Nothing left to strive for. She said that it was stupid and even told me that it has nothing to do with me as I did everything in my life just for her and my son. She told me she will try her best to get over it, but from this moment on I was very suspicious as this is the typical story of how a relationship ends. My wife was never very needy regarding sex and we had a good sex life for the majority of our relationship. Some dry spells of 2 to 3 weeks were in there sometimes, but nothing serious. She always had an orgasm, we tried different things, nothing to be missed from the sexual aspect. Now fast forward what has happened. I found out she deleted Facebook messages by accident when she forgot to log out Facebook on my computer and a message popped up and disappeared. It was just some chatting, nothing serious, but she said she hid it because I might misunderstand it and wanted to spare us from a discussion. I knew by fact it was nothing serious, but still I was very mad that she hid it. It wasn't even this guy and it was really just some chat. But she was afraid this could hurt us. I need to mention this as I also felt betrayed right there. It was kind of the first betrayal. I forgave her. I told her that things like that are unhealthy, I know men. First some chats, then some flirting, next time drunk at company event they try to touch her, etc. She should shut off things like that as a married woman. 1 week ago I had a bad feeling, can't really tell why. I was never the stalker type of man, but as I got her a new iPhone for our anniversary last week, I knew she had a backup on her notebook and I decided to restore it on my old phone. And then it struck me. My heart shattered and beat like 2,000 RPM. I found a text of him saying he loves her and wants to be with her. He is a co-worker married with 3 childs. I found videos of himself he sent her. I found nothing of her. I immediately confronted her and she confessed that she had sex with him 2 weeks ago. He was very pushy and already tried to kiss her once before, which she blocked but never told me about. Then on another day in work he talked her into a separate room to talk about it with her and immediately started to make out with her and opened her jeans, which eventually led to sex. She told me she didn't know how to get out, tried to refuse half-hearted, didn't say no and let it happen. She knew it was wrong and was thinking about how it would be the end of everything but couldn't stop it. Waited for it to be over. It lasted for 2 minutes, he came on the floor and she didn't feel anything. She left and sat in the car crying before picking up our son from the kindergarten. She cut off all contact and deleted everything, told him to delete everything but he sent the messages I found. Since then there hasn't been any contact or messages from her side and she can avoid him all day at work if she wants to. I was furiously mad about how she could have done something like that and told her everything is over and planned how we will get divorced. She just resigned, she knew what she did was horrible and cried the whole time while I treated her like the last scum on earth as I was broken mad. I didn't want to see her and wanted her out of my life. She wanted to leave me after it happened, but she didn't know how and she just couldn't because she's mad in love with me. I found out before she found how to do it. We had a family weekend planned the very next day which I knew my son was looking forward to it since weeks. My parents, her brother and wife, my nephew. So I just manned up for my son and didn't want to ruin it for him and the family and hid everything. We had the chance for 2 long talks, 3H, where I was able to listen and talk to her normally. I know she really regrets what she did and I know she was confused with her life for more than 6 months. And seeing me breaking down and cutting her off hurt her. She wants to quit her job, do counseling, anything just to keep our marriage alive. She would sign any contract that she will lose everything if it ever happens again, anything. I always thought, once a cheater, always a cheater, if I ever get cheated I'll leave instantly. I did it right like I promised myself when I found out. But every time I see her or my son I just can't do it. It's the worst with my son. I love him more than anything else and I get sick by thought that I will just be able to see him 1 to 2 days a week if I divorce. I get sick by the thought that at some point in my life, there will be a second father figure for him if my ex-wife will find a new guy. I could vomit just thinking about it. Even more as I did nothing wrong multiple times reassured by her. I didn't threat her bad or didn't give her enough attention. It was just her confusion in life, which he promised me 100 times is now over. She wants me. She wants our family. One mistake in 10 years. Nothing ever happened before. I always loved her. She was the one I wanted to get old with. The one I could trust blindly. My beautiful angel. And now I can't even look at her without seeing the scene. I really wanted a healthy family all the time. I want to be with my son. I want to be his father. But it makes so mad that we had a talk about her confusion in life. That I offered her to go for counseling, which she refused as she knew it was just her. She was mad at me for pointing out that this might leave her open for an affair and denied it. I saw it coming all along and couldn't do anything. And now I'm sitting here thinking about if it is possible to carry on. If it is worth to carry on. I think everything would be over if it wasn't for my son. For the family I dreamed about. I do not want everything that will come towards me if we end this. She can't afford the house. I'll have to take another mortgage to bail her half out as she is in the contracts, even though I pay for everything. About 300K. She is only working 25H to do household and take care of our son. She will move out with my son. I can't stand it. I can't decide what I can't stand less. Being with her and seeing the lies and the cheating she did to me. Being without the love of my life and my son and missing them. Being financially ruined. Even though I could stand that part, but it is still something to consider under non-emotional aspects. I really believe her remorse and that she has cleared up her mind. And how it happened. I don't know if I'm a naive stupid fuck and just want to believe it that hard. That's why I needed to write it down. I don't want to be a stalking control freak. I never didn't let her do any night outs or anything else, but right now it's hard for me to trust her. But I might turn into one? Can I ever trust her really again? She is now a person I never thought she could be. I'm also afraid how it might change me. There were multiple occasions where attractive women tried to flirt with me and I just shut it off immediately and went away. Maybe next time I'll be thinking, fuck it, she did it too? But that would be a betrayal to myself. So I think I should be able to handle my personality. I can't wrap my head around how she wasn't able to predict that. To shut it off. How she just let it happen. Just because she liked to get affection anywhere else too, even though she had more than enough from me. Just because she liked compliments and thought everything is a joke. So, any of you went through a similar situation? How did you handle it? Have you ever been able to look at your so in a loving way again? Am I exaggerating? It was just a small physical mistake. She could have been raped too and I would need to live with it? Any other woman I could meet and get a knitmate with could have had a similar situation just 2 weeks ago and it would be nothing of matter? There are people living in an open relationship. A friend of mine even drives his wife to her dates and is happy to watch. My head is just fucked at this point. Hello dear listeners, I want to share some comments I received on my Reddit post. Let's dive in. First comment. For me, after the woman cheated, it was never right again. I never understand how anyone could commit that level of betrayal. Not trust, no relationship. I'm sorry she did this to you and I have no idea what you could do to fix it if it can be. If it can be, you have to figure out how she could regain the trust. It's going to take a long time and she will have to really work at it. Therapy is a good start. She obviously has insecurity issues along with a bunch of weird mixed emotions. She would have to start with what is making her unhappy. If this is the path you take, then she is gonna have a 5 to 10 year plan. If you two split up, I don't understand why she gets the boy. She's the one who tore the family apart. I wouldn't let my child live with a woman that does not have herself together. How is she gonna tech him to be an adult when she is struggling at it? You two need many more hours of conversation to figure all of this out. Good luck. Second comment. Just a warning, if you stay when she's gone longer than expected or has to work late, the first thing you think is she's fucking someone else. When you have another dry spell for 2 to 3 weeks, the first thing you'll think is she's fucking someone else. You want to live with that. She shattered the trust in your marriage. For me, that is an absolute no-go. I could never live a life with someone I can't trust. Third comment. I've never been in this situation, but considering how your wife was deleting all of the messages and trying to pretend nothing happened, which I feel like was what she was trying to do since she had sex with another man, didn't like it and wanted to get rid of the evidence. If you hadn't figured it out, she probably would have never told you. There's also the chance that she was raped, but from what I gathered, it doesn't sound like it. You can still be an amazing father to your boy while divorced. You can't force yourself to continue a potentially volatile relationship. Trust was shattered. How can you ever be 100% sure your wife will be trustworthy? No one should live like that. You owe it to yourself to divorce and live a new life while being there for your boy. I feel like staying in this relationship after reading all of this is the naive thing to do. Friends, if you were facing the same situation, what would you do? Please share your thoughts in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your perspectives and advice. Thank you for taking the time to listen this, and I'll see you in the next story.